Welcome back. Yes, the coat and the hat is back. It's really cold today. We're going to talk about the secrets of the M1 line. By the way, I have an Instagram. It's Sleepy999. That's 1E, not 2, 1. Let's start off here in Kabaty. This is the first station to be built because it's the first station after the Kabaty depot, which was built first. It's the only depot for the entire metro in Warsaw. For now. Anyways, while you're in the platform, you can see where the trains switch directions. Unlike the SKM trains, the metro trains switch directions at the side tracks. There are 4 of them. Track 1 is a side track. Track 2 is a track to the depot. Track 3 and 4 are for the metro line. This station has a very similar design to the stations between Kabaty and Wilanowska, except that this station has a more concaved ceiling. This station has another secret. This station is prepared to function as a shelter, for example, from a nuclear attack. Every entrance to the station has thick steel doors. Also, this isn't really a secret, but this station and the line between Kabaty and Służew was built using the cut and cover technique. Don't let the sun fool you, it's still very cold outside. This is Imielin. The station was originally supposed to be called Ursynów Południowy, named after the district Ursynów. The name Imielin was supposed to be given to the station that is now called Ursynów. This station is also weird because, as you can see, there is no line in the center of the platform. All the stations between Kabaty and Wilanowska are very similar, so finding differences can be quite challenging. The ceiling isn't really flat, it's kinda wonky. This station can also be used as a bunker. This part of the M1 line was built during the Cold War, so it's better to be safe than sorry. This station is in the center of Ursynów, according to me. The district office is located here, a massive cinema, and the Ursynów Cultural Center. This is Ursynów. The ceiling was copied from Stokłosy. At least they gave the walls a different color. This platform is kinda weird. First off, the floor is a bit too dark and the platform's 11 meters wide instead of 10 meters like the other stations. This is one of few stations where you can actually see pictures of its construction. Yes, it was built using the cut and cover method. Although the station's name is Ursynów, it's quite far away from the center of Ursynów. The work in progress name was much more deceiving. The neighborhood Imielin is 2 kilometers away from the station that was supposed to have its name. Wait, hold up. Imielin isn't actually a neighborhood. Stary Imielin is. This is getting quite confusing, so let's move on to the next station. This is Służew. No relations to Służewiec. We are finally in the district Mokotów, but the bad part of Mokotów. The walls are pretty similar, but the stripes on the ceiling aren't horizontal. They're vertical, like an Imielin. This station entrance is pretty cool. It kind of looks like a cave entrance. This is where the cut and cover method stopped being used, because the center is approaching. After the station, the tunnels were being built with the help of a tunneling shield. This is a pretty old method of making tunnels, but it's the 1980s, so it's not that old. This is Wilanowska. I obviously had to stop at this station. This station is way bigger than the other ones because this station is also a transport hub. As I mentioned in the South Warsaw Orbital video, this station has a bus station and a tram stop. This station has 2 side tracks, although this station has never been a terminus station. I didn't really go into the metro station itself in that video. Above the tracks there are 2 passages. One is on this side and the other one is on that side. There are also a lot of pictures on the walls. Just like Ursynów, this platform is 11 meters wide, probably because of the tons of people that use this station. I'm pretty sure this station has the most entrances, 8.
Take the sign that we ordered, you can take it back. Now here we go.
This is Wierzbno, the last station in this episode to have the ability to be used as a bunker. But they took that way too seriously, because the station actually looks like a bunker. The ceiling is ugly, they painted the walls a boring yellow. Here's something fun about the station. As you can see, not all of the lights are on. That's because when they opened the station, the lights were so bright it would blind train drivers after leaving the dark tunnel. On this platform, there's a dynamic display showing the next trams. That still doesn't make the station look less ugly. F-. I've decided to skip Plac Konstytucji, even though I had some things to say about it. But then I realized that Plac Konstytucji is just a copy of Mokotowskie. So let's talk about this station instead. The ceiling makes the station look like a bunker, even though it isn't one. At least the walls are a bit more interesting. I wonder where they got that color from. It's getting hotter and hotter by the second. By the next station, I won't have this coat on anymore. The station's named after the Mokotów field. And it's, well, a field. In January, they added this elevator from the ground all the way to the platform without going through any ticket gates. However, the placement here is kinda awkward. It doesn't help that the elevator looks way different from the 1990 styled metro entrances. I found a picture of the tunnel being built near Mokotowskie. They were using the shielding method. This is Politechnika, the last station to open on the 7th of April 1995. It was the first metro station to open in the city center district. The M1 line back then was built for the people living in Ursynów and Mokotów because of the massive population, yet a lack of good transport. That's why the M1 line didn't open in the center, because the center was already filled with trams. Although I'm still confused on why they couldn't extend it one more station to the center. This station has two side tracks because it was a terminus station. But why did they put the side tracks on the south side of the station and not the north side? This is one of few stations where you can see the platform curve. Speaking of which, the platform is 11 meters wide and super bland. The station itself is bland. The station is named after the Polytechnic University in Warsaw, which, depending where your classroom is, may or may not be far away from this station. This is what happens when you don't do your research properly. What I said in the video was completely wrong. Let me say the correct version of it. In 2015, this mosaic was added to this station. The reason is to commemorate 600 years of Poland-Turkey relations. Near this station, there was an underground central dispatch office, and it was located above the side tracks. I say was because it's now abandoned and replaced with a different office in the depot. I hate this place so much, but I have to do it. It's so loud because of all the cars and the roads, and there's no shade. The only shade I have is this tree. Before I go to Centrum, I have to check out the unbuilt station, Plac Konstytucji. This won't be long, I promise. They were supposed to build the station, but to save on money, they didn't. This makes sense because the next station, Centrum, is 600 meters away, and the last station, Politechnika, is 800 meters away. When they build the station, it will be quite far away from the Constitutional Square. It will be built between the Wilcza and Piękna streets. This is Centrum, the deepest station on the M1 line, 15 meters deep. It opened on the 26th of May, 1998. That took long enough. This station is unique because it has two 7-meter edge platforms and not one 10-meter island platform. This makes sense because it's the most used metro station in Warsaw, and this helps split out the load. According to the map, you can transfer onto Warsaw Central. That's just not true. Warsaw Central is 600 meters away from this station. Unless you want to walk for 8 minutes, you can't transfer. Instead, take a bus from the bus stop Centrum 06 or a tram from the tram stop Centrum 10. There's a nice passage under the roundabout. There were plans to build an underground passage between Centrum and Warsaw Central, but that didn't happen. On the platform edge, you can see that the design is a bit different from the other stations. This one has a black and yellow line, while the other stations that we went through didn't have that black line. The platforms are curved slightly, but not as much as in Politechnika. On the north side of the platform, you might be able to see the track going to the M2 line, because the M2 line shares the same depot as the M1 line, so there has to be a connection between them. This is Świętokrzyska. This is the newest entrance. As you can see, it looks really new. You might say, oh, this entrance isn't authentic. And yeah, you're right. Let's go to a more authentic one. This is a more authentic entrance. Nah, here, let's go back. This one's better. This is Świętokrzyska. This is the station that connects the M1 line and the M2 line for passengers. There is a secret underground passage connecting the M1 platform and the M2 platform, but we'll talk about that later. But what's weird is that on the platforms there are arrows pointing to the longer route. Actually, we'll compare both of them. The faster way and the slower way. If you want to get to the secret corridor the fastest, just save this table. If your train's going to Brno, sit at the back. If your train's going to Bemowo, sit at the front. If your train's going to Mociny, sit at the back. If your train's going to Kabaty, sit at the front. Easy. This station was opened on the 11th of May, 2001. And so did Ratus Arsena. But we'll talk about that in a different episode because this one's already too long. Okay, now writing this, I realized I wrote 1,770 words. I should probably stop now. I'm just making the problem worse. Can't wait for me to read this, then facepalm. This video has been going on for way too long. This video is probably 15 minutes long, and if it's not, I'll put a 2-minute outro. I am not used to uploading videos this long. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out my Instagram. Sometimes they put spoilers for upcoming videos. But for now, goodbye.